All right, welcome back to Economics 271. This is chapter 9. It's what we're going to be working on today. And pull this up. Today we're going to be working on developing null and alternative hypothesis. Here I've got scanned from the book, page 392. And the first problem on here is one that we're going to work. The first thing we've got here is that this manager of Danvers Hilton Resort Hotel, he stated that the mean guest bill for the weekend is $600 or less. A member of the hotel's accounting staff noticed that the total charges for guest bills have been increasing in recent months. The accountant will use a sample of future weekend guest bills to test the manager's claim. Which form of the hypothesis should be used to test the manager's claim? Now, when you write at the beginning of when you're doing hypothesis testing, it's very important to get the hypothesis right, the alternative and the null. The null and the alternative. The null always has an equality in it. And the null is always the status quo. So, the manager of Danvers Hilton Resort Hotel, he stated that the mean bill for a weekend is $600 or less. So that means equal to or less than. So the manager is saying that the mean is less than or equal to $600. This later on will imply a one-tailed test when we do our hypothesis testing. So the alternative has to be the mean is greater than $600. When you set up a null and an alternative hypothesis, the null and the alternative combined must include the whole set of possibilities. Here, the mean could be less than 600, it could be equal to 600, or greater than 600. That exhausts all of the sample space. You can't have anything that's not in that set. And they also have to be mutually exclusive. So here, if something's less than or equal to 600, in this case, the population parameter, the mean, then it can't be greater than 600 and vice versa. So this middle, I can't highlight that, this middle hypothesis is the correct answer. Here, if he said, instead of 600 or less, if he said it is exactly equal to 600, then we use this third set of hypotheses here, the null and the alternative. If he had said that the mean guest bill is exactly 600, then we would say that the mean is equal to 600. That would be our null hypothesis. It has the equality. And our alternative would be that the mean is not 600. It's greater than or less than 600. In this case, as we'll see later, that will lead us to what we call a two-tail test of our hypothesis. This first set of hypotheses here, this would have been if the manager said that the average or the mean guest bill for a weekend was greater than or equal to 600. The alternative would be that the mean is less than 600. The status quo always goes on top and has an equality sign with it. Now, what conclusion is appropriate when H naught cannot be rejected? Okay. Which conclusion is appropriate when H naught cannot be rejected? Okay, and that would be that the mean guest bill for a weekend is less than or equal to 600. What conclusion is appropriate when H naught can be rejected? In that case, if we could reject H naught, we would be saying that the mean guest bill for the weekend was greater than $600. Now we're going to work one ourselves. We'll use this self-test here. The manager of an automobile dealership is considering a new bonus plan designed to increase sales volume. Currently, the mean sales volume is 14 automobiles per month. So the mean is 14 automobiles per month. The manager wants to conduct a research study to see whether the new bonus plan increases sales volume. To collect data on the plan, a sample of sales personnel will be allowed to sell under the new bonus plan for a 1-month period. Write these down. Problem 2, step A is develop the null and alternative hypothesis most appropriate for this situation. Part B, comment on the conclusion when H naught cannot be rejected. So if we can't reject our null, what is the conclusion that we're making? And step C, comment on the conclusion when H naught can be rejected. Okay, we're going to switch over to the webcam here, hopefully.